At family BBQ, Dad laughed. You're old enough to pay rent or get out. Next day, when I moved into my new house, they completely freaked out because smoke from the grill hit my face, but not as hard as my father's voice. You're old enough to pay rent or get out, Kyle. This isn't a charity. The entire backyard went quiet. 20 relatives stopped eating. Aunt Marie froze mid-bite. Uncle Tom lowered his beer. The neighbors, the Hendersons, the Patels, the Johnsons, all heard through the fence. That was the point. Dad wanted an audience. My stepmother Linda smirked from her lawn chair, that satisfied look she wore whenever Dad put me in my place. My half-brother Josh laughed, loud and mean, raising his phone to capture my reaction for whatever social media platform he was milking this week. Everyone's watching, Kyle, Josh said. Better not cry. I'm Kyle Brennan, 28 years old, associate editor at Riverside Press, making $52,000 a year. I'd been paying half their mortgage since I was 19. I've been paying you for 9 years, Dad, I said quietly. My burger sat untouched on the paper plate. Around me, potato salad and coleslaw, and the smell of grilled meat that suddenly made me nauseous. He flipped a burger, not looking at me. The spatula scraped against the grill grate. Yeah? And I've been housing you for 28 years. If you don't like the arrangement, there's the gate. Josh raised his beer. Good luck finding a place on your salary, bro. I checked Zillow. Studio apartments are like $1,800 a month. Cousin Rachel looked uncomfortable. Grandma Morrison started to say something, but Linda cut her off. Kyle, honey, you're being dramatic. Your father's just saying you need to contribute more. You're not a kid anymore. The neighbors were definitely listening now. Mrs. Henderson's head was visible over the fence, pretending to check her roses. I set down my plate on the picnic table, carefully, like I was defusing a bomb. Fine, I'm out. Linda's eyebrows shot up. Wait, what? You heard him, I said. I'll be gone by morning. Dad laughed. That sharp, dismissive sound I'd heard my whole life. Where are you going to go? You've got no savings. You spent every dime on that ridiculous comic book collection. We'll see, I said. I walked through the backyard, past the grill Dad had bought with money I'd given him for repairs, past the new patio furniture Linda had ordered on the credit card I'd been paying off, past Josh's brand new Ford F-150, $47,000 financed monthly payment courtesy of me. I left the BBQ without another word. Behind me, I heard Aunt Marie. Robert, that was harsh. He needs tough love, Dad said. Kid's almost 30 and still living at home. I kept walking. What they didn't know, what none of them knew, was that I'd been planning this for 2 years. Every rent payment I made, I'd been secretly matching in a separate account. Every utility bill I paid, I documented with photos and spreadsheets. Every grocery run, every repair, every expense, logged with receipts, dates, amounts. While they spent my money on Josh's truck and Linda's shopping trips and Dad's golf memberships, I'd been building an escape fund. Let me back up. Let me explain how I got here. My mother died when I was 11. Cancer, ovarian, stage 4 by the time they caught it. She fought for 18 months, lost. Dad remarried 2 years later. Linda Morrison, 41 at the time, divorced, with a son, Josh, who was 7. They moved into our house 3 weeks after the wedding. Dad said it made financial sense. Things were okay for a while. Not great, but okay. Linda tried. Josh was a normal kid. Dad seemed happy. Then I turned 18, graduated high school, got accepted to state college. Not far, just 40 minutes away. I was going to commute, save money, keep living at home. 3 days before classes started, Dad sat me down at the kitchen table. You're an adult now, he said. Adults pay rent. Okay, I said. How much? $400 a month, plus you pay for your own food, gas, phone, everything. I'd saved $2,300 from my summer job at Target. I can do that. Good. First payment is due now. I wrote him a check. That was August 2015. I was 18 years old. For the first year, I thought it was fair. I was living at home, contributing, learning responsibility. But then I noticed things. The rent went up, $400 became $500, then $600. By my sophomore year, I was paying $750 a month. Costs are rising, Dad said. Mortgage went up, property taxes. You understand? I understood. Then came the utilities. You use electricity, don't you? Internet? That's another $200. Then the food. Your groceries are separate. You buy your own. By my 3rd year of college, I was paying $2,100 a month, more than what some of my classmates paid for apartments. But I stayed because Dad said it was helping the family, because Linda said they needed the money, because moving out would mean disappointing them. I finished college in 2019, got a job right away at Riverside Press, started at $38,000, kept living at home because Dad said he needed the help. The rent went to $1,300. You're making real money now, he said. Time to contribute like an adult. I paid it every month, direct deposit from my checking account to his. But I started noticing other things. Josh got a new gaming setup, $3,400. Early birthday present, Linda said. Dad bought a boat, $12,000. I deserve it after all these years of work. Linda remodeled the kitchen, $18,000. We've been saving forever for this. Meanwhile, I drove a 2008 Honda Civic with 190,000 miles and a transmission that slipped. I wore clothes from Target and Goodwill. I hadn't been on vacation since I was 16, but they were family. They needed me. That's what Dad said every time I asked questions. Then came the escalations. Year 6. They wanted more money. The hot water heater broke. We need $800 $800. I paid it. The AC needs repair. $200. I paid it. Josh needs new tires. $600. I paid it. Every time, Dad said it was temporary. Every time, the amount I owed somehow never went down. Year 7, I started tracking everything, every payment, every request, every expense. I created a spreadsheet, dated every entry, saved every receipt. I also opened a new bank account, different bank, online only, Capital Federal, no local branches. Every time I paid Dad his $1,300, I transferred $1,300 to my secret account, matched it dollar for dollar. It was brutal. I lived on nothing, ate ramen, canceled Netflix, drove as little as possible, worked overtime every chance I got, but I saved. Year 8, the gaslighting got worse. Family gatherings became performances. Dad would tell stories about what a good son Josh was, how Josh helped around the house, how Josh was responsible. Meanwhile, I was literally paying their bills. Kyle's still finding himself, Dad would say. Some people take longer to grow up. Aunt Marie would look at me sympathetically. It's good that Robert lets you stay. Not every parent would be so generous. I wanted to scream. Year 9, the final straw started 6 months ago. I got promoted. Associate editor to senior editor. My salary jumped to $52,000. I told Dad over dinner, thought he'd be proud. Great, he said. So you can afford to pay more rent. Let's say $1,600. I stared at him. That's a third of my take-home. You're living in my house. You'll pay what I say. That's more than market rate for a room. Then move out, Linda interrupted. But you won't, because you can't afford it. She was wrong, because I'd been saving. For 2 years, I'd been matching every payment. My secret account had $31,200 in it, plus the $18,000 I'd saved before I started the matching system. I had $49,200, but I didn't tell them that. Instead, I started documenting more aggressively. I installed a finance tracking app, Mint, connected to all my accounts. I photographed every bill I paid, every grocery receipt, every tank of gas I put in Josh's truck when Dad asked me to help out. I also contacted someone, Margaret Hayes, financial advisor at Riverside Wealth Management, 23 years in personal finance. I'd met her at a press event for the paper. We'd talked about financial literacy programs for young adults. I made an appointment. Let me see what you have, she said. I showed her everything, the spreadsheet, the receipts, the bank statements showing 9 years of payments. She went quiet for a long time. Then she said, Kyle, this is financial abuse. It's rent. I said, I'm an adult. I should pay rent. Not like this. She pulled up comparables. A room in your area with shared amenities, $600 to $800 maximum. You're paying double. And that's not including all these extra expenses they're putting on you. She calculated it. 9 years of overpayment. All the emergency repairs and family expenses and Josh's truck payments. You've paid them approximately $127,000 since you turned 19. The number hit me like a fist to the chest. With that money, Margaret continued, you could have bought a house. A decent 3-bedroom in Riverside goes for about $240,000. You'd have enough for a down payment plus reserves. I can't afford a house, I said automatically, because that's what Dad had always told me. Yes, you can. She pulled up mortgage calculators. With your income and your savings, you qualify. Easily. That meeting changed everything. I contacted a real estate agent, Patricia Chen, 15 years in residential real estate. I told her my budget, told her I needed to move fast, told her I needed discretion. I know exactly what you need, she said. 3 weeks later, she showed me a house, 1847 Maple Street, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, hardwood floors original to the 1950s, small backyard with a deck, quiet neighborhood. The owners were relocating for work and needed to close fast. Price, $215,000. I'll take it, I said. Don't you want to see other options? No, this is perfect. We closed in 3 weeks. I paid 20% down, $43,000. The rest financed at 4.2%. My monthly mortgage payment, 1 through 47, less than I'd been paying Dad. I scheduled the move out for the day after the family BBQ. I'd already known Dad was planning something. He'd been dropping hints for weeks about needing to have a talk about my situation. I let him pick the time and place, let him think he was in control. The morning after the BBQ, I loaded my car before sunrise, 5:47 a.m., my Honda packed with boxes. Everything I owned fit in 12 trips. I left no trace, even vacuumed my room. I left a note on the kitchen counter. Moved out as requested. All bills are your responsibility now. Don't call. Kyle. By 8 a.m., I was standing in my new house. My house. 2 bedrooms, hardwood floors, a backyard with actual grass, not the patchy dirt of Dad's place. The deed had my name on it. Only my name. I sent one text to the family group chat. Moved out. All bills are your responsibility now. Don't call. Then I turned off my phone for exactly 1 hour. Needed the silence. Needed to breathe. When I turned it back on, I had 63 messages. Dad, this is ridiculous. Get back here. Dad. Kyle, stop being childish. Dad, you're going to apologize for this. Linda, the Wi-Fi isn't working. What's the password? Linda, Kyle, I need you to call the electric company. Something's wrong with the account. Linda, Kyle, answer your phone. Josh, you actually left. Wow, dramatic much. Josh, Dad's pissed. This is hilarious. Aunt Marie, honey, are you okay? Your father called me very upset. Grandma Morrison, listen. Kyle, please call. Let's talk about this. I didn't respond to any of them, just kept unpacking. The house needed work, paint, some new fixtures, but it was mine. Every square foot belonged to me. 3 hours later, someone pounded on my front door. I looked through the peephole. All three of them. Dad's face was red. Linda looked like she'd been crying, though I suspected it was performance. Josh filmed with his phone, of course. I opened the door, didn't invite them in, just stood in the doorway, blocking entrance. Nice place, Dad said, pushing past me into the living room before I could stop him. Linda and Josh followed. How much is this costing you? None of your business. The hell it's not. He spun around, surveying my living room, taking in the hardwood floors, the bay window, the brick fireplace. You drained your accounts to prove a point? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I didn't drain anything, I said calmly. I've been saving while paying your bills. Linda's voice went shrill. Our bills? You lived under our roof and paid for it, I shot back. Every month for 9 years. Room and board, she shouted. That's what families do. Families don't charge double market rate for a bedroom. Dad stepped closer, his finger jabbing toward my chest. You owe us. Do you understand? You owe us for raising you, for putting a roof over your head. For what? I interrupted. For raising me until I was 18? That's called being a parent, Dad. You don't get to charge interest on childhood. You ungrateful little... The electric bill is $340, I said. My voice was steady, cold. I'd practiced this. Due in 5 days. Internet is $120. Water is $95. Gas is $147. You'll also need to cover the car insurance I've been paying for Josh's truck. That's another $280 per month. The color drained from Dad's face. Wait, what? Josh lowered his phone. You were paying my car insurance? Linda's voice cracked. And the credit card you used for groceries, and the gas bill, and the lawn service, and... Okay, Dad shouted. Okay, we get it. You're angry. You're upset. But you can't just cut us off like this. We're family. Why not? You were ready to kick me out yesterday. That was just talk, he muttered, not meeting my eyes. No, I said. It was a threat. Made in front of 20 relatives and the neighbors. You wanted to humiliate me. Mission accomplished. So here's my response. I walked to the kitchen table where I'd set up my laptop, opened it. The spreadsheet was already loaded. 9 years of data. Every payment meticulously logged. What is that? Linda asked, following me. Proof, I said. Of every dollar I paid, $127,000 total. That's what you've taken from me since I turned 19. Josh had stopped filming. His mouth hung open. I scrolled through the pages. August 2015, $400 rent. September 2015, $400 rent. October 2015, $400 rent plus $180 for emergency plumbing repair. Stop, Dad said. December 2015, $500 rent. First increase. January 2016, $500 rent plus $340 for new living room TV. I said stop. March 2017, $750 rent plus $200 for AC repair. June 2017, $750 rent plus $800 for Josh's summer camp. Linda's face had gone white. Josh's camp? You told me the family needed help, I said. That we were struggling. That if I didn't contribute, we might lose the house. We were struggling, Dad insisted. No, you weren't. I pulled up another tab, his public Facebook posts, screenshots I'd saved. June 2017, look at this post. You're showing off the new boat. Finally got my dream toy. $12,000. 3 weeks after I paid for Josh's camp. That was different. November 2018, Linda posts about her kitchen remodel. So blessed, $18,000. While I'm driving a car with a dying transmission and eating ramen because I can barely afford food after paying you $300 a month. You're taking this out of context, Linda said weakly. March 2020, Josh gets a new truck, $47,000 financed. Monthly payment, $680. Guess who's been making half those payments? Me, because Dad said it was family helping family. Josh's face had gone red. Dad, you said you were paying... Shut up, Josh, Dad snapped. I could have bought this house outright if you hadn't bled me dry, I continued, my voice rising now. I could have paid cash for $15,000 and had money left over, but I couldn't, because you told everyone I was a freeloader living off your generosity. That's not, Dad started. Aunt Marie thinks you're a saint for letting me stay. Grandma Morrison feels sorry for you, having to support your adult son. Uncle Tom asked me at Christmas why I don't step up and help the family more. My hands were shaking. I gripped the edge of the table. You've been telling everyone I'm a burden, a failure, a child who won't grow up. Meanwhile, I've been subsidizing your entire lifestyle. Dad's jaw worked. No words came out. So here's what happens now, I said, my voice dropping back to steady. You're going to figure out your own bills, pay your own mortgage, your own utilities, Josh's truck, Linda's credit cards, all of it. Kyle, Linda started, and you're going to tell everyone at that BBQ exactly how much I paid. Every cent, every year, the truth. Or what? Josh sneered, finding his voice. You'll tell on us? I turned my laptop screen toward them. A second tab already open. Facebook. A drafted post with the full spreadsheet attached. Every family member tagged. Every neighbor who'd been at the BBQ. Even Dad's co-workers from the auto shop. The post read, for 9 years, I paid my father $127,000 in rent and family expenses while he told everyone I was a freeloader. Here's the proof. Every payment, every lie. You all witnessed him try to throw me out yesterday. Now you get to to see what he's been hiding. The three of them stared at the screen, at 9 years of payments, laid out in undeniable columns, at proof they'd been lying to everyone, at the 47 tagged names who would see it the second I hit post. Dad's face turned gray. Actually gray. You wouldn't. My finger hovered over the post button. Want to find out? Kyle, please, Linda said. Think about Josh. Think about how this will affect him. You didn't think about me, I said. For 9 years, you didn't think about what this was doing to me. How it felt to pay for everything while being called worthless. How it felt to watch you spend my money while telling everyone I contributed nothing. We'll tell them, Dad said quickly. We'll tell them the truth. Just don't post that. When? Soon. Next week. Now, I said. You call Aunt Marie right now. Tell her everything. Then you call Grandma. Then Uncle Tom. Every person who was at that BBQ. Dad pulled out his phone with shaking hands. Dialed. Put it on speaker. Marie? His voice cracked. I need to tell you something. About Kyle. About the money. I watched him confess. Watched him admit to 9 years of exploitation. Watched Aunt Marie's voice turn from confused to angry to disgusted. Robert, how could you? She said. That boy, he trusted you. Next was Grandma. She cried. Actually cried. Kyle paid for all of that? And you let us think, oh, Robert. Then Uncle Tom. Then the neighbors. Then Dad's co-workers. Each call was harder than the last. Each person angrier. Each relationship damaged. By the time they finished, 47 minutes of calls, Dad was crying. Linda was silent. Josh had left, walking out without a word. Are we done? Dad asked. Can you delete that post now? I looked at the drafted post, at my finger still hovering over the button. I'm not deleting it, I said. I'm saving it. If you ever tell anyone I'm a freeloader again, if you ever claim I owe you anything, if you ever try to manipulate me or guilt me or demand money, I post it. Understood, Dad whispered. And you're going to issue a public apology on Facebook tonight, admitting you lied, admitting I paid, admitting you were wrong. Kyle, do it, or I post this. He nodded. They left, walked to their car in silence, drove away. I closed my laptop, sat in my empty living room, in my house, and I cried. Not sad tears, relief tears, freedom tears. My phone buzzed. Aunt Marie. Kyle, honey, I'm so proud of you. You did the right thing. If you need anything, you call me. Grandma, I'm ashamed of your father. You're a good man, better than he deserves. Uncle Tom, I owe you an apology. I believed him. I shouldn't have. You ever need anything, I'm here. 3 hours later, Dad posted, I need to apologize publicly. For years, I told people my son Kyle wasn't contributing to the household. The truth is, he paid me over $127,000 in rent and expenses while living at home. He paid far more than his fair share. I was wrong to disparage him. I was wrong to demand more. Kyle, if you see this, I'm sorry. The comments exploded. Family members, friends, neighbors, all seeing the truth for the first time. I can't believe you did this to him. Kyle deserves better. This is financial abuse. You should be ashamed. Dad's reputation, carefully built over decades, collapsed in one evening. The next morning, I got a call. Margaret Hayes, my financial advisor. Kyle, I saw the post. Your family is, well, I won't say what they are, but I want you to know you did the right thing. You protected yourself. That takes courage. It doesn't feel courageous, I said. It feels like I destroyed my family. You didn't destroy it. You revealed it. There's a difference. Over the next 3 weeks, I got calls from relatives I hadn't talked to in years. Cousins, uncles, old family friends, all apologizing for believing Dad's narrative, all offering support. Josh showed up at my house 2 weeks later, alone, no phone. Can we talk? He asked. I let him in. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't know. I knew you paid rent, but I didn't know it was that much. I didn't know about all of it. You never asked. I know. I thought Dad knew best. I thought you were okay with it. I wasn't. I know that now. He looked around my house. This place is nice. You deserve it. Thanks. Dad's been different since you left. Quiet. Stressed. He can't afford the bills. The mortgage is late. I didn't respond. I'm not asking you to help, Josh said quickly. I'm just telling you. I'm going to start paying rent. Real rent. What I should have been paying all along. That's between you and Dad. Yeah, I know. He stood to leave. For what it's worth, you're a better man than I gave you credit for. After he left, I thought about forgiveness, about family, about whether bridges burned, stay burned, or if they can be rebuilt. I didn't have an answer. 6 months later, I'm still in my house, still loving it, still learning how to live without the weight of their expectations. Dad and I don't talk much, maybe once a month, surface level stuff, weather, work, nothing deep. Linda and I don't talk at all. Josh and I text occasionally. He's paying rent now, real rent, learning what I learned years ago. The family BBQs are different now, quieter, smaller. I don't always go. When I do, people treat me differently, with respect, with awareness that I'm not who they thought I was. Sometimes I think about that moment, my finger hovering over the post button, the power to destroy everything. I'm glad I didn't post it, glad I gave them a chance to make it right themselves, but I'm also glad I kept it, because some bridges need to be burned, and some people need to know you have matches. The deed to my house sits in a frame on my wall, my name, my property, my proof that I was never the person they said I was. And whenever I doubt myself, whenever I hear Dad's voice in my head saying I'm not good enough, not responsible enough, not worthy enough, I look at that deed, and I remember I paid for my freedom. Every dollar was worth it.